Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
Happy New Year!
And we hope your holidays were amazing.
The best. I hope you played lots of games, had a lot of laughs, had minimal amount of smiles because you had too many grins.
No, full-blown smiles are great. But we're now in the new year, and that means a month has gone by, so we get to talk about the top games of December.
And this one was a big one because we went to PAX Unplugged during this period.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to play a lot of games there and we had to play all the holiday games, which meant we almost played 40 different games.
Yeah. I actually was looking at the list of games that we had played and then looking at my top 5 and was actually surprised at what games made the list because of the sheer amount of games we played and then like the types of games we played because they were very much like family party game oriented, but when we get there it'll just go to show what games I enjoyed the most.
Exactly. So we'll talk about that today. We'll also announce a bunch of giveaway winners from our couple of giveaways that we ran in December. And get ready to start a great 2025 together.
Yeah, we're excited to keep going and we're excited to keep growing and we're excited for you to be here.
Exactly. Without further ado, let's talk about our honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Now, we had a goal to do 5 campaigns in 2024. We have achieved 40% of that goal by doing 2 campaigns. But we did finish another campaign before the end of the year, and that campaign is
Campfire Chronicles.
Nightfall. So we trucked along, we got to the finale, and we did the thing.
Yeah.
And what did you think?
It was pretty awesome. We did the thing where we played two-handed. I think maybe that was not necessarily a mistake, but it was hard.
It was harder, for sure.
It was hard to manage, and I think if we had to do it again, I would do it with more people, but same number of characters.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Overall, the campaign I thought was really, really nice. I really like the deck building aspect of it, and like creating the uniqueness that your characters can become. So that was really fun.
We had some really big moments in the last couple of sessions, which was really
Yeah.
fun. But we don't want to give you too many spoilers.
No spoilers.
But that was our second campaign of the year. Our first one was My Island,
Yeah.
and this one was our second.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought we did one more.
We might have done
one more. It might have been like just like a
one.
small one
Yeah.
that you go through like chapters.
Does
something
Lord
like
of the
that.
Ring trick-taking game count if you go through all of it?
I would count that, I think.
Okay.
I think I would count that, but maybe that's for you to leave a comment down below. Do you think like a trick-taking game with multiple scenarios should count?
Maybe.
Maybe.
So maybe that'll be our goal for next year, to do another 5 and see if we do better than 2.
No. I will say that we're looking at starting Earthborn Rangers, but I don't want to get too much into that because we are here to talk about our top 5.
Exactly.
And we're talking about honorable mentions right now.
My other honorable mention is Solstice.
Hey!
It's a cute little 1 to 2 player game where you're both building the same grid essentially, but you're stealing from each other.
Yeah. I'm excited that I got to show you this game because I have been playing this game for quite some time. Me and my, I guess, ex-coworker, because we don't work together anymore, but we used to take our breaks, and it would be this. It's a super short 2-player game. You can play it online on BGA, which is fantastic, and then we would take a break playing this and go into like our next meeting or like our one-on-one to discuss like the next steps for X, Y, and Z, and I thought that was amazing. So.
I really like Solstice. I think it's a very cute game. It's very small. It's also really pretty. So that's my honorable mention.
I did have 2 honorable mentions, but now I only have 1.
Oh.
Because you took 1.
Because I took 1. Okay.
The one honorable mention that I have is Crafting the Cosmos.
Okay.
And that game we got to play at PAX U. It's a really, really interesting with like this marble manipulation, resource gathering, but also like some simultaneous play that can be going on. And I thought that was like super interesting to wrap your brain around, but it's also really good.
I really like marble manipulation as a new core mechanic.
Marble manipulation?
Like we have set collection, we have tile placement, and now we have marble manipulation.
Yeah, I agree. That was fun.
Such a fun game.
And we played a lot of games at PAX, so this one was definitely
a standout.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, my number 5 for the list is Creature Caravan.
So cute.
Red Raven Games has a really special place in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And this game was so fun.
Yes.
Because all you're doing is you're essentially pushing your little caravan as far as it will go, but you're also encountering zombies that you're trying to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
You're also building up a little tableau of cards that provide you various abilities and various actions. So it's a little tableau builder.
Yep.
And all of what you're doing is through dice.
Yes.
So it's really fun because you have those 5 dice and you're allocating them to the spots to get gold, to potentially get more things and grow and enhance your creature caravan empire.
Mm-hmm.
But the table presence is gorgeous. The way the board really rolls out is fantastic. And I just love games that kind of start out a little bit more bare. But then as the game continues, everyone has a beautiful tableau of cards. Mm-hmm. The board is flourishing with tokens. Yeah. And I think the art style of Red Raven Games, Ryan Lockett does such a phenomenal job. That this was just a treasure to bring out to our table, and I'm excited to play it at a higher player count because we've only played it at 2.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it more because there's so many cards in the deck too that like going through all of them and using them are actually like 2 different things because you can like discard them as basically resources, but being able to use all of them and formulate different strategies or like what you need to be looking for is something that like I look forward to. It makes the game feel very, very different each time. Yeah, and I'm happy that you don't have to like get to the very end.
Yep.
Like it's beneficial too because you get more points, but you can end up just in the middle and focus more on your tableau and creating that caravan that you really, really love. Rather than getting to the end.
Different strategies, lots of different opportunities. And that is Creature Caravan.
My number 5 is this game called The Yellow House. And this is about 2 artists, Van Gogh, right? And I'm so sorry, I don't remember
the other artist's name either.
But it's basically they decide to live together, and that wasn't a good decision. Realistically, like that's basically the story summed up. Yeah. But you're battling back and forth, having these debates, and you want to have the last word, essentially. It's a 2-player game where the strength of the suits are actually determined by your ability to be able to like discard and then move them above other suits. But there's like some finesse there it's simple to do, but it's also very strategic in the way that you're going to do it. And I really, really liked that fact that you could plan ahead to sort of like discard, but maybe you don't want to discard. And at the very beginning of each round, you have to give 2 cards up, but those 2 cards that you give up also manipulate the suits. And only one of every suit can be played, so it's bound to be an interesting hand or round that you play through.
It's surprisingly more thematic than I thought, because you are like passion is more important, and like the different types of categories too. I really like this game. I think we should do a playthrough of it. It'd be really fun.
This 2-player playthrough,
it would be a lot of fun, and it's becoming much more accessible in North America because 25th Century is actually bringing it forward. Yes. I believe there's a Kickstarter that's coming up for their import series. So if you've been looking and trying to get a copy, just you wait, they'll be around.
Yes, there you go. All right, that's The Yellow House, and that is my number 5.
My number 4.
And my number 4
is
Isle of Cats Duel.
I love the Isle of Cats.
It's so cute.
It's so fun. The puzzly nature of putting cats together, the goals, the objectives. So this is essentially Isle of Cats, but in a condensed, a little bit different drafting mechanism.
The draft is different, yeah.
Because you have a board where the cat, you'll just move a cat a certain amount of spaces and you'll take up one of the things it moved on to. Yeah. So the spatial draft is really fun, and you can kind of balance. Do you want to draft lessons and to score more points and more cats to fill in more spaces, potentially have more families? But a lot of what I love about Isle of Cats is in this game.
Yeah, the scoring I think is exactly the same in this game as it is to the base or the
really similar
original game.
Yeah.
If not, like it's slightly different, but it's very interesting to be able to like go through the game with just like as a head-to-head, and that draft I found was super interesting. You could almost manipulate ways, so like you can look over to the opponent's board and understand whether or not they might want to take certain things, and you can move away from it. And I thought that was very interesting, a space that you can make decisions in, because it's also like I can grab this now or I can wait because I know maybe Ilya doesn't want that, and hopefully it ends up working for me in the long run, and I really enjoyed that.
And fish is such a crucial resource because fish allows you to potentially move more, take two pieces, or do like various things, but it's very limited. It's really hard to get fish. So how you're balancing all of that is really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of this because I feel we did the all-in for the Kickstarter for Isle of Cats, so we have that huge box with all the expansions, and it is a little bit daunting sometimes to open it, to set up, to decide what expansions to play with. So having this in a very condensed, let's just play this, I feel like we'll get to the table much more.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say, because Isle of Cats, it's not even that it's a daunting game to play.
No.
It's that this is just a nice condensed package that Ilya and I can just play together and not have to worry about the big box.
Are we going to play with the kittens? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. But we always are looking forward to showing more people Isle of Cats, so we'll always have that in our repertoire.
Yeah, the duel is on.
There you go. That is both our number 4s.
And for my number 3, we'll skip it because it's higher on Tyler's list.
That means I have to do my number 3, right? It's on that side, so if you wouldn't mind. My number 3 is a game about cheese. It's called Fromage. This game is super interesting in the fact that it feels solitaire, but you also have to be aware of what everybody else is doing. Because essentially what's happening is you are going to be taking a little mini game that's in front of you at the time and playing it, deciding where you want to make cheese, deciding how you want to gather resources, and maybe even doing things that like are on your own personal board. But the best part about that, besides the whole asymmetry or the
solitaire play?
Yes, the solitaire words are difficult. The solitaire play is basically that like you also have to decide how you want to play your cheese, and this is where it gets very important, is that depending on the direction that it's pointing in, is how many turns it will take to get that particular worker back. And it's something that you have to be very mindful of. You can't fully commit to all of the games, of course, because there are advantages to making your worker unavailable for the next 3 turns. So you've got to like learn how to navigate through that, and it's a fun little puzzle to try and figure out. And I just look forward to the next time I have to spin that wheel of cheese to play the next mini game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like particularly how much of a table presence it has. It really brings everybody like, what's happening? They're spinning the board. What's going on?
Yeah.
And who doesn't want the golden cheese?
Yeah.
The golden cheese will score you potentially many points. So
Yeah. So that is my number 3. Definitely look forward to playing and showing this to more folks.
That's for Mosh.
Put that one over there, please.
Okay. My number 2 is
Aha.
Civolution.
Yes.
Now, I've been wanting to play this game the entirety of last year.
Yeah.
I think it's been on my anticipated list. I've been so excited to play it. I saw it very briefly in February, but I didn't get to play it, so it's been a long time coming. I really enjoy Stefan Feld games, and the reason this one's my number 2 this month is because of how glorious it really is.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do in this game and so much you can discover, which at first can be daunting because there's essentially, I think, 21 different actions you can take.
Yeah, which sounds like so many.
It sounds like so many, but once you get into it, it's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
And all that you're doing is you're essentially manipulating or taking dice and placing them on different actions to take different actions and build a different civilization. You can explore the map, you can invent technologies, you can grow your people, you can produce
all your resources.
There's so much that you can do and so many pathways you can take in this game that I just cannot wait to play with more people, to play it again and again, to discover the different strategies. There's just a lot you can love in it. I really, really like Bonfire, which is a Stefan Feld game.
Yes.
And I feel like it's like a way leveled up game of that. And for that reason, I really enjoy it. I can't wait to play it again. And that is Evolution.
Yeah, I really enjoy this game too. I think I need to play it more to really like decide where it falls.
Where it sits, yeah.
But I do look forward to exploring it a lot more.
I also love, my last thing I'll say, is I love, a lot of Stefan Feld games have this, is like there's like a procedural board.
Yeah, that's
where like
really nice.
Step 1, everyone does this. And it's always visible. Everyone can see it. Everyone knows what part we're in. It just helps you process the game in such an easier way.
Yeah, it's very straightforward steps that once you actually use them, they make a lot of sense, and then the game becomes a lot more clear, even regardless of how crunchy it ends up being.
Exactly. And that is Civolution, the hands.
The hands of Civolution. My number 2 is this card game called 1AM Jailbreak. And
you've been loving
I really
Jailbreak.
like it. It's just so simple, so easy to teach, and like really quick. So I think for that reason, like it checks a lot of boxes for me. But basically in this game, you're trying to be the first one that escapes jail. And the way that you do that is get rid of your hand. And once you do get rid of your hand, depending on how many players there are, it can be like 2 people have to do that, and then you're playing golf score, so you get points equal to the cards left in your hand, which is obviously not good if you have a whole
points
lot
are
of cards.
bad.
Yeah, and then at the end of 3 rounds, so like I said, pretty quick. At the end of 3 rounds, whoever has the least amount of points ends up being the winner. And this game is pretty straightforward. You are playing a certain number of cards on your turn. It actually doesn't really matter what is up front in terms of beating the hand, essentially. You're just playing equal to the number of cards that are out there, or plus or minus 1. And that's like it. But there's some intricacies that end up happening, some thought process that has to go between like how do you organize, how do you reorganize, what cards do you end up taking, what cards do you end up trying to hold on to for potentially the next turn that you have, and the timing is really important. So
yeah, what's left in your hand is a really interesting like strategy, because as the game progresses, people have less cards. You kind of want to push them to not be able to take more.
Yes, exactly.
But it does break your brain a little bit, because it's a card shedding game where what was played before, only the amount of cards matters. Where like if it's a run, if it's a set of cards, like I'm so programmed in my head to be I need to do better, but you don't have to do better in this one. You just have to look at the number of cards.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's been really fun. We've played this one a ton this month.
Yep. And that is my number 2. Simply just a simple card game.
Just a simple card game.
That hits the right spots.
Now for my number 1, it's tragic because we don't actually have the game, but it's one of the games that we played in PAX Unplugged, and it is called Australis. Now, in this game, you will be turtles going through the East Australian current, and you will have the most wonderful time that you can possibly have.
Yeah.
It is a game of fun, chaotic, joy, everything and above, and everything that I love. So I am really excited. It is my number 1 this month. Now, the way this game is played is essentially you're first drafting dice, and when you're drafting dice, you're competing in different areas of the game. You're potentially fishing, you're potentially moving on the current, building up the corals, or taking cards and objectives. Yeah. Then you'll have an intermediary scoring, where you'll score a little bit of what you've done. Yep. And then the third phase, my favorite phase, is the dice tournament, where everyone that has numbered base dice will roll their dice, and the lowest gets eliminated, and you go until there's only one player left, and they get a bit of a bonus, and the second player gets a bit of a bonus. It's chaotic. There's definitely some randomness to it, but
definitely
there is some planning and mitigation you can do to do the best that you can do. It's so much fun. We only played this game once, but I cannot wait to play it again. I cannot wait to show it to more people. It brought me a lot of joy and potentially a core memory, in all honesty.
Oh, it definitely has a core memory for me because of what happened, but essentially I got very unlucky in my die rolls. Multiple rounds, like 3 out of the 5, probably.
Tyler did not invest into the current, which is
that was
pivotal.
Also the tiebreaker.
Pivotal in order to do well in the game.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that was the importance of it, but regardless of it, it was still like pretty chaotic, and I thought that it was very interesting to like phase 1 is very calm, collective, like there's a lot of strategy involved to it, in my opinion, and then phase 2 it just slams you with this.
Well, that's phase 3.
Well,
phase 2 is
I'm
scoring.
not counting that intermediate.
You gotta
scoring.
score in order to get the points.
That's the end of phase 1, and then phase 2 is just like this chaotic like current that hits you, and it's like, oh,
it's very thematic. You never know what's gonna happen in the current.
So I can appreciate it being your number 1. It definitely has a core memory in my books.
It's definitely an Ilya type of game, and I can't wait to play it again.
There you go.
So Thames and Cosmos, get it over in North America because I need it.
Yeah, we got to get a hold of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Ready?
For
my number 1 and your number 3. So I will just say that actually this is the third two-player game in my list, and I thought that was very interesting.
Because we played so many non-two-player games?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, we just love two-player games.
My number one and Ilya's number three is this game called Flatiron. And I don't even know where to start. If you like Red Cathedral, get this game. That's really all I could say. Oh. If you like engine builders, definitely get this game. Mm-hmm. It is a two-player only game, of course, like I kind of said. But you're building out this skyscraper in this interesting, like, worker placement, engine building-esque way that is very... Sometimes it feels solitaire, and then at other times it's like, oh, actually, no, it's not solitaire at all, because I do have to pay attention to what Ilya might be doing. I need to make sure maybe I'm blocking him in certain spaces, and that I'm, like, capitalizing on my particular board, because they're all different, and making sure I score the most points based on the stands that I'm able to place into the center and help build out that skyscraper.
It has so many things I love.
Yeah.
One, really thematic table presence. You're literally building a skyscraper on your table. It looks so cool. Yeah. Two, the player interaction in this game, you're really playing the player, but not in a mean way, I would say.
Not at all.
I think you are definitely trying to block and trying to figure out where the other player is going to go. How can you make sure you get the most points by doing this, or take this card, or how do you do this? Yeah. But the other player's doing the same. So it's kind of like a mind game of, like, if I give up this area, Tyler might go to this area. So how do I potentially incite him to go to a different area so I can take this area? And I love that in two-player games. I think it's so well done. And the other element I'll say about this game is it feels extremely polished.
Yeah.
Like, everything in it just seems extremely thoughtful. And the presentation's fantastic. The box, the presentation, the cover, like, everything is just mwah.
Yep.
Huge fan of this game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not higher on my list, honestly. This has been a good month of gaming.
The engine building piece of this game is just so interesting to me. I really, really like that part. And it's just like a top down and you go for it. But there's like some point manipulation that you have to be like very aware of.
Yep.
And the timing of the engine is super important. It's not like you can activate certain pieces at certain times. You have to follow that line. And I think that is super, super cool. And then the other thing, of course, that I really look forward to in two-player games is how close they are. And every time we've played this game, it's been very, very close. And I love that.
It's really fun.
Because it really does mean that, like, I missed an optimal turn, or Ilya missed an optimal turn, or maybe we forced
outsmarted the other person.
Exactly. So there's those really, really cool decisions that you can, like, then look back on and be like, wonder what I could have done better. And that the thought-provoking thing is really cool to me.
It's a fun aspect.
Yeah. And that's our number one, number three. Flatiron.
And the last game on our top 5 games of December.
Exactly.
2024. Now, for our question of the day, we have, what was your favorite game you played during the holidays?
Yeah.
Or during December. Maybe you played it earlier. Maybe you really wanted to play it and you didn't get to play it, but you can just tell us about it and we can chat about it in the comments.
Yeah.
There's lots to do.
There you go.
Now, for our giveaway winners, we have a few.
We have
five.
We have
we're gonna rapid fire through these. Thank you again to everybody who entered our giveaways to help celebrate our 4 years of content creation, and of course Krampus.
So also, just as a note, make sure you look down in the description below just for like any notes that we might have on the giveaway, and we will be reaching out to you. So
either on YouTube or our email, which is in our description. So if there's other methods that you reached out, watch out, because that's scams. Nocturne. The giveaway winner for Nocturne is... Congratulations.
I make a different noise every single time.
Yes. Next up we have Terraforming Mars, the dice game. And the winner for this one is...
Wow.
Congratulations. Then we got Captain Flip.
Yeah! It's like a coin flip, and then it lands and shows up.
You didn't do the whole whistle. There we go. And we have Flower Fields. What do flowers sound like?
I don't even know. But congratulations!
And last but certainly not least, I don't think we have Krampus with us, but Krampus. Horrified Krampus. And the word for that one is... Bop. Thank you again to everybody for supporting our channel, supporting our videos, our content creation, our photography, our love of board games.
Exactly.
We have lots of fun stuff planned for our Discord, so check that out below. Also, if you want to support us, you can also check out our Patreon. We have some additional content. We throw in occasional videos in there. And
if that doesn't work for you, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content, because we love talking about board games and we want to do it more.
And if you didn't enjoy this content, let us know in the comments below too.
What would you like to see?
What do you not like about us?
Maybe don't say that. I don't want that negativity around me.
That's fair. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next one.
Bye.